Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Marhaba. Thank you so much for joining us and شرفنا بوجودكم معنا. We're going to discuss today the Yallah Global Jordan. I'm going to speak it in English, but then we'll have open mic for Arabic translations as well. This program is brought to you by the Ministry of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship, and we want to thank them for their support, and we look forward to seeing your application. شرفتونا بوجودكم. البرنامج هذا عن طريق تعاون من ISM والMinistry of Digital and Economy and Entrepreneurship. The goal for today is to really just overview of the program and how it works and encouraging you to apply. I hope that you find good reasons to apply, because the goal of this program is to help you go global. For those who have not met, my name is Faris Alami. I'm the founder of International Strategic Management, the implementing partner for this program. And I have a couple of my colleagues here, so you'll see them in the background, whether controlling slides or some of them are in the room here with me in the office. And then I see many of you are online, so thank you for joining. We're going to talk a little bit about the program overview. We're going to talk about some of the goals, and we're going to just talk about how we're going to evaluate some of these applications. We're going to talk a little bit about the implementation of this program. For those who are not familiar with International Strategic Management, we've been around for 22 years, and we've worked over 103 countries so far. And we're lucky and fortunate to have worked in Jordan in the past for the last at least 5 or 10 years. I'm going to skip the mission and vision, because you could read those later on our website or through our marketing materials. And we've had a journey all since 2003 till today. And this will just give you a little bit of it, just to say that we have also had speed bumps just like everyone else. Our focus work area is really around these 5 pillars, we call them. So we usually working under the umbrella of economic development, specifically in entrepreneurship and small business development. And we usually have some kind of components of education or community engagement and some kind of technology. Some of the things I'm going to mention and some of the things that we're going to implement through the program is going to be amazing. And I know that. And we know that because of what we have heard from others who have participated in the past. I want to bring up to your attention that anything that we have learned is really from working locally and with so many amazing people, and then learning from them, and then being able to bring it to you to be a global-minded set. Just in last year, these are some of the organizations that we have supported on a yearly basis. We work with somewhere between 20 to 30 organizations, and on a yearly basis, somewhere between 12 to 15 countries. For those who are interested, these are some of the organizations that have partnered with us to do this work. Some logos you may recognize, some you will not. It's not possible to put 22 years worth of logos in one slide, but this is a sample of the last at least 5 or 6 years of us doing the work globally. The way we're structured, just really quick, we have a track for the organizations that basically want to support the entrepreneurs, whether small businesses or startups. And we work on designing the program, implementing the program, kind of like what you're seeing here today. And then the second track is the actual individuals of entrepreneurs or small business owners or leaders in the community going through the actual program, which I'm hoping that many of you here today will join and apply to be part of that program. These are some of the programs that we're known for, but I'm going to focus our discussion today, obviously, about the Yallah Global, specifically for Jordan. We have a design program, so just know that we have put a lot of thoughts into coming up with how we're going to do this with you. And this is our trademark, secret sauce in a way you could call it, of how we implement and deploy programs and work with the individuals going through it. Once you're in the program, you will have access to what we call the program delivery, and we will have some kind of things in person. We'll have some things online. We will have a community that we will build for you, so you'll be part of an ISM online community that you can exchange information and share with each other, resources and keep access to those resources beyond the program. We also will give you access to our strategic planning tool that has AI and market research data to help you understand how to go globally. Just know that anything that we're doing, we always have a syllabus or an agenda, kind of like today, and we'll always add some kind of tools for you to, encourage you to utilize, such as we have our own books, but also workbooks, but also maybe some of the things that are out there available that we think will benefit you. The team is strong. This is just a sample of the team of who works behind the scene. So if it looks like I'm doing the talking, just know that it was a lot of people behind the scene making this the way it looks like now and the way it works. And it makes it really easy for me just to show up and articulate what we're going to do with you. There are also people who will be working with you. So these are some of the individuals, some of the business coaches that we will have. The list is long, but this is a sample of the people who we will be working with you at the different phases of the program. So let's jump right in. So the Yallah Global Jordan is a program designed to take for 1 year. We will work with several companies, somewhere between 10 plus, and we will work with them on creating what I'm going to call a scale-up program or a scale-up strategy, and then we're going to help you implement it. So it's not just thinking about it, it's also implementing it. And the way it's going to work is we're going to accept 2 cohorts, or you could call it 1 cohort with 2 tracks. And we're going to have people in the startup phase, and we're going to have people who are trying to scale up or go globally. In the startup phase, maybe they're looking for investments, customers, or something like that. In the small business phase, we're going to be looking for expansion, maybe opening new locations or just new market. We're going to do that through our standard capacity building program, which I will mention in a few minutes. We'll have some mentorship or coaching. We'll have some kind of market segmentation. So therefore, we're focused within this 1 year on what exactly going to be accomplished. The goal ultimately is to support startups and small businesses, either one of the tracks to either get investments or expand globally. For you to be eligible, you have to be at least 1 year in business. 1 full year in business is what we're looking for. So if your startup phase and before that, like it's still in the idea stage, we encourage you to apply for any of our other programs. This is specifically designed for companies who have been in business for at least 1 year and utilize technology in some kind of capacity, whether you use it in the back office or whether you use it in the front office. And then like I mentioned earlier, we have 2 tracks. So we have organization that will be looking for investment, and we have organizations looking just to expand their market footprint. We do have 4 additional criteria that we look for. Any company, obviously, that is in Jordan, that is based in Jordan, that is Jordanian owned will qualify for this as long as you've been in business for 1 year. We also have additional qualification that could potentially help some of you that may be on the call, depending on where you're calling from. I did ask to please tell me what city are you calling from. That would be great just to see it in the chat. Will be a nice running to see where people are joining us from. If you want to make it more fun, you could tell us if you're calling from the office, from your home, or from your car. But basically, also businesses that are founded in Jordan by non-Jordanian, but are formally registered by Jordan, we are able to accept few of them. And then, of course, businesses that are founded by Jordanian outside Jordan, but maybe have a registrations in Jordan, or potentially planning to open, they're registered somewhere, but they're also planning to open offices in Jordan, that the program will be applied through the Jordan office or Jordan branch. Next slide. So these are our goals of why we want you to be in the program. So if, we want to make sure that we identify these companies that are looking to scale or looking to attract investments or looking to expand their market. If you're not sure, we have other programs that we can help you attend. This is for people who really want to do something and want to be able to go globally. We're going to select a few companies from the pipeline. We already have some people applying. Thank you for those who applied already. We appreciate it. And no matter what happens, once you apply, we're going to make sure that you get supported, whether we can support you through this program or refer you to any of our strategic partners that could potentially help you with your business endeavor. And then once you're selected, we're going to do more in-depth assessment to help you understand what are the opportunities for us that we could potentially help make an impact within this 12 months period of time. We could obviously do more beyond, but we want to make sure that we get some results while we're working with you. And then we will basically then facilitate whether investment meetings or business meetings with matchmaking. So this is not going to be like go, good luck. It'll be coordinated the whole time. And we're going to do both hybrid, meaning virtually, and then we're going to do something in person. And we will create then for you, for all of you, what we call an online marketplace through ISM portal, that we will invite also people to attend and be live beyond the program that we're working together on. We're going to make sure that there is some diversity, so just know that we encourage everyone to apply, and we want to make sure that there is some kind of targeted KPIs that we all agree to once you are accepted into the program to deploy. The two tracks, we have one for startups, so you got to be minimal viable products, meaning that you have to have something that you are able to sell or to scale, and you're looking for investments. If you're not clear about how to create the investments, this is what we do in the first meeting. We will help you create that, and then we will then think through with you which city or which country or which region would be the best suited for you to attract those investments. The second track, and it might be the same cohort collaborating together, once we do the one-on-one coaching with you before we get you into the program, fully into the second phase of the program, which is the capacity building tour. We are looking for those who are small businesses that are trying to expand, whether they have maybe a potential new market or they've been trying to go to market, they have not been successful. We will make sure that you get some doors opened. These are the phases that we're going to walk you through it, right? And I'm going through this just a little bit to make sure that you have a nice overview, but please feel free to ask any questions at any time in the chat. My colleague Michael and Danyang will capture some of these questions and make sure that we address them before we leave. But first, we're going to obviously have you apply, make sure that you're eligible. Those who apply, we will basically working with Modi, the Ministry of Technology and Entrepreneurship, to make sure that we're aligned with the goals of the businesses as well as with the goals with this program is supposed to deliver. Then once you pass the mini application, we will forward you a full application. We're going to ask you for a lot more questions, and that's really just to help us create a profile for you that then we are able to advance to people who want to meet with you, as well as to use it for promotional purposes to make sure that you are seeing everyone. All right. And then once you're done with that, we will have selected companies do an assessment with our coaches. And then that assessment, basically, we will come up with what needs to be worked on or what could be where we could connect you to. And then once those things are done, then we move to the one-on-one meetings, and then getting you on board to launch the program with a personalized roadmap for you to scale up your business. I don't want to bore you with the complexity of how it works, but basically we have an info session. You're in it today. You're going to apply, which we have a mini application online just to capture basic information from you. Those who apply, we will help you no matter what, like I said, whether it's us through our program or referring you to another spot. And then once we're done with that, we will invite you to a second application, which you'll be able to log in and fully complete that application, and it will be a little bit more in depth. Then we'll have an interview, and then we'll get you launched with those assessments with the coaches and working through the business-to-business matches, as well as the exporting track. Just to be clear, there are steps behind the scene that we are going to go through, and we'll make these slides available for those who attended the program with us today. If you have any questions, most of this stuff is already on the website. You could visit the yallahglobal.com and read a little bit more about it. But just know that we will, once you're accepted, we're going to basically conduct an in-depth assessment of your business, come up with certain KPIs, meaning things that you're going to achieve within the year with us, and maybe things beyond our year. And then we're going to help you develop that implementation plan, whether it's investment or export readiness. And then we're going to do actual work of getting you connected to those investors or to the export market that you're planning to go to. And then, of course, we're going to ask you to make sure that you keep us informed with the activities that you're doing, because we would like to support you, but we also would like to report your success. Phase 3 of the program, basically, once you're in the program we're looking at doing some virtual or in-person workshops or mentoring sessions or technical support or connecting you with other people that could potentially help you for potential collaboration or anything like that. Then we're going to leverage our ISM programs if we need to plug you into any of the programs that we have or materials that you could use to help you think through it, whether it's financial capital readiness or understanding how to ask for money or whatever is needed, depending on your startup or small business objectives. Then we will basically align you with those resources and have one-on-one consultation, as well as sometimes maybe a smaller group session to make sure that you are supported to reach the goals that we have set together. Yeah, and phase 4 of the program is now you're meeting with the investors, you're meeting with the market linkages, and we're basically setting up with business-to-business meetings. Depending on your track that you go through, whether it's investment track or market linkages track, is basically what you will be set up for. And then the team here will be supporting you through that. And then once it's done, right, we're now maybe taking you on a mission with us to a region, and we actually have divided the globe into a few regions that we have strong relationships with, and I already have interested party wanting to meet the Jordanian companies. From the Gulf country, the GCC areas, whether it's Saudi, UAE, Qatar, Oman, or any of the countries there, or the Arab world in general, as well as the European region, and then Central Asia, and then, of course, North America, including, of course, the USA and Canada. Depending on which program we select you to, some of it will be in person, some of it will be virtual. So you're probably thinking, how do I get started? It's really simple. First thing you want to do is apply online. And once you apply online, we will decide what would make best sense for you with the mini application. And based on that mini application, we will provide you with the best resources, whether it's going through the program to the next steps or referring you to one of our strategic partners that will help support you. And then we will then send you, for those who are accepted into the program, will be sent to a full applications with an interview. And then you will basically be drafted together with you on a plan that will help you reach those goals. So the first thing to do is start now, and our online mini application is already available. If you don't know how to get it, you could use your phone to scan the QR code, or if you go to yallahglobal.com, there's a Jordan tab, and under the Jordan tab, you will find the mini application in the middle of the page. I would encourage you to fill it out, because that will be one way for us to get you started. If you're not sure, we have a form, just basically a basic form to say, I'm not sure. It's a contact form, and it's just going to ask for basic information, your name and email and phone number, and then we'll respond to you as well if you choose to do that way. So that's really what I wanted to cover with you today. I'm happy to move it to Arabic or say in English, depending on what you guys would like to hear. And just know that we'll start now looking at the questions and answer. But and if you want to raise your hand to unmute, we are happy to bring you to the stage to ask your question. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you application, and looking forward to finding ways to support you with your growth and going global. All right. I see already some questions here. Is there a grant money for the program? The grant is basically to cover all the costs that is affiliated with the program. So you won't get cash, but you will get the services. So let's just say once you're accepted, you end up going to Saudi, or you can end up going to the US. The whole cost is covered by the grant. You will not have to pay anything from your own pocket, as well as all the services that are being provided to you is covered by the grant, and you don't have to pay for anything. But we do have to qualify, and we do have to make sure that you meet the qualifications because, it is an investment from the Jordanian government in the businesses. In a way, it's an indirect investment. You could call it that if you'd like. Post MVP lists is basically, we just want to make sure that you have some kind of product or service that's already developed. If you're still in the phases of completing it, you could still apply, and we'll have to look at case-by-case study, but basically we're looking for those who are ready to move to the next step. If you have some traction, that would count, by the way. You don't have to have it developed completely, but if you have tractions, meaning someone told you, hey, we would buy it from you as long as you develop it, anything like that. My point to you today is I encourage you to apply, because that's the first thing. And then based on what we read, once you apply, it'll allow us to say, should you be in this program? Should you be in another program? Because we have amazing partners that could also support, as well as we have our own other programs that we could potentially plug you in if you don't qualify for this program this time. Which investors do you have in your contact list? We have many investors from Uzbekistan to Saudi to the US to in Europe. And we're lucky, as you saw in my earlier slides, you can see our strategic partners and the organizations that have worked with us in the past. We're lucky to have them, and they're all actually ready to do business matching, and they're in over 80 different industries. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you could apply and see what happens. So there are no fees nor equity either. You're basically those who get accepted into the program will be, we will cover all your costs through this, through this program, and you will just benefit from our 22 years of work, as well as the network that we have, as well as the connections that we will create for you. So there are no equity and there are no fees for your end. We will cover all travel expenses, that's correct. And please know that, depending on which track we put you in, some of the tracks does not include travel, includes Zoom links and virtual links. Some of them will include travel, depending on where you are and what we're trying to do with you through your goals. Travel expenses and accommodation. That is correct. It looks like the same question, but different person. All the expenses for the travel from the minute you get into the plane till the minute you go back to your home country, Jordan, we will be covering that. If you're traveling somewhere else as well, if we're bringing you in because you're somewhere else to the US or Saudi or whatever, those costs will be also covered. Obviously, it is a budgeted program, so it's not going to be a fancy travel or a fancy hotel, but we do use the standard of the US for booking those things. We are based in Michigan, and we do have worked in 103 countries, like I mentioned earlier. Accommodation covered. Yes, we cover that. Can you mention some of the names of the investors? Depending on your business, it's really hard for me just to mention some of the name of the investors. But as you could saw earlier, Munshaat in Saudi Arabia, many of our partners here in Detroit, many of our partners in Saudi and Washington D.C. and Jordan also, many of them in Jordan as well as some of our partners in Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan or Central Asia are all part of our partners. I would encourage you to look at our slide. It will give you some of those ideas of who are some of those investors or the investors that are connected with it. Some of them are private angel network groups, and some of them are more of a VC track, just depending on what you qualify for. The criteria for selection, I mentioned earlier, it was one of our first slides, but 1 year in business, that you are a Jordanian-based company or any of the other three categories, or has a Jordanian link or Jordanian registration, and that you are planning to grow globally or attract investment to your startup, depending on which track you go on. So the criteria to selection is 1 year in business, Jordanian-based company, beyond idea stage, and have some product looking for investments or product expansion or market expansion, or small business that has some kind of technology in the back end, including like e-commerce. We have a little samples up there in the slide that basically allows you to be considered technology enabled. And then that's pretty much it. I'm sorry to hear that that you have joined other programs. We've been doing this for 22 years. I'm not gonna, I don't want to, brag about what we have done, but we've been doing this for 22 years, and we have been fortunate to have amazing results. We have had people have participated in other programs, and I'm sure I'm happy to connect with a few of them to see what results you will get. But what I will say also, you only get things out of programs of what you put into it. So sometimes maybe there's a mismatching personality, sometimes there's a mismatching of product and services, sometimes there's a mismatch between you and where you are launching. And this is why we're doing it this way initially, to make sure that you qualify, and then B, that we could support you. And if we don't think that we could benefit you, we will not accept you. Nothing personal, it's just we want to make sure that we are able to make an impact on your business before you are accepted into the program. And this is why I said fill out the mini application first, and then based on that, we could decide, can we support them or not? And if we can't support you, we will refer you to our strategic partners or other organizations or even other programs that we have. Let's see, what's the next question? Hopefully that answers your questions. If you have more, just let me know. The travel will include only one participant. That's correct, one participant for each company. If you have others, we could potentially, once you're accepted in the program, we could potentially discuss what can or cannot be covered for that one person. But the goal would be is to maximize the number of companies being exposed to these trips. And again, the trips are just a small portion of the program. There's much more to the program than just the trip, because there might be matching via virtual. There are people who are ready to meet with, we already had a call, and as an example, with our partners in Uzbekistan, and they're interested. I have a partner in Saudi that's interested in meeting some of you. Don't even know who you are yet. We don't even know who you are yet. They're just interested in meeting with companies from Jordan. We will not just connect you. So that's not, the program is really designed to support you to get those investment. But it is limited to 1 year. So, if we connected you with the investor and make sure that you're ready to invest, we have several programs we've been running for almost 10 years, and people keep funding them. So clearly they're working for them and getting results from them. So as long as we get you into the program, not only we're going to support you to connect with them, but we're going to support you beyond the program. One of the things that you might have saw in the slides, that post programs, we're doing reporting, we're back and forth supporting you. There are follow-up calls with the investors. And this is why it's a full year. It's not just, here's an email or a contact, good luck. No, we're actually going to prep you before you meet. We're going to prep you during the meeting, and we're going to probably be there during the meeting. And then post meetings, what you should say or should not say, and how to say it and when to say it. Can we connect investors? Next question. Can we accelerate the process? The process could be accelerated based on where you are and what you're doing. Our impression that we have had, if we can get you investment tomorrow morning, that will happen. You don't have to wait till we take a trip. You don't have to wait till we make a connection. Once we do the assessment with you, which could be as early as I think it's the second week of January. So within 2 to 3 weeks from now, roughly, you will be able to move to the next step. There's no waiting period. This is why we're doing it. You just apply now, and once you're in, depending on where you are, we're ready to move forward with you. There's no waiting, let's just say, for a period of any time. I see a question in the Q&A. Travel include only 1%. Yeah, it's the same question, yep, which I covered. The travel, yeah, there is a Q&A section, by the way. For those who are interested, you could put it there as well. So we answered that question. Let's see. As far as training sessions, really, we have not structured any training sessions. There will be coaching sessions. And if we notice that 3 of you are struggling with the same topic or interested in learning more about a specific topic, then yes, we will create a workshop that you will go through. But as far as training, there will not be a specific training that we say, just we'll see you in 3 weeks from now after you finish this training. That's not how this program is structured. There will be, for sure, coaching sessions. And during those coaching sessions, my coaches might realize 5 of the people who are going through this right now could use capital and finance readiness program. And we will give you access to that and then have someone facilitate those discussions to make sure. Our experience have proven that the people who come and say, I'm ready, and once we ask you for the documents and the information that we want you to see to be presented correctly, we have learned that no one is really that ready. Now, no one will ever be perfectly ready, but we want to get you to where you have a better chances of moving to the next steps with the investors or with the market that you're going for, because putting you in the wrong time at the wrong spot will only hurt you for long term. The objectives will be agreed together after the assessments, and the KPIs will be established together. It's not going to be like me telling you what to do or you telling me what you're trying to do. It's coming together on what we could agree to accomplish together. And this is why I said, if we can't help you, we will not accept you. And we will be tracking the progress and the impact through our own portal. We have our own surveys that will be sent to you, as well as our coaches and mentor. You might have already got an email from Michael, who oversees the back office support of it, and then we'll be creating that online community. There will be surveys and things of that nature that you will be responsible to respond to. And once you're in the program, we'll be talking. And of course, if you face a challenge, this is why you're in the program. So we connect you with someone, we facilitated it, and now we followed up based on what we told you to follow up on. And then in respond, we will support you in seeing what's going on, or what did you say or do that affected it, or what maybe they changed their goals and what they're trying to invest in, or the market that you're going after is maybe the wrong market. We've had that before where people came and say, we're going to go to this state. And then, the US is obviously a big place. And then I say, which state? And they're like, well, just the US. It's too big. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of funding to fund you to just see all 50 states. We will be going to specific state or specific market. So we want to make sure that we are connecting you with the best spot to start with, specific city even to start with, and then you could expand from there. We have access to some data that will potentially help you recognize where would be the best suited spot versus just shooting in the dark. Great questions, by the way. And Joe is, I see Joe from our team is also online. So Joe is also is one of the business coaches here as well. And there are many other people, you saw the slide with the team. Oh, thank you, Yazan. Look forward to seeing your application. Yeah, my ask is apply. Let us see where we fit, and if we don't fit, we will encourage you to and refer you to other partners, whether it's in Jordan or outside, as well as or other programs that we may have that help you get ready. The goal is really simple: investments, attractions, or expansions of your product or programs to the global market or to the regional area or to the Arab world, just getting you to expand beyond where you are today. If there are no questions, I don't have to hold you. We budgeted an hour, just to make sure that we have enough time for it. The actual info session actually is usually 30 minutes, which is we're about that time. So I'll stay on for those who want to ask any questions or anything else. But for those who feel like you got what you needed, I encourage you to please apply. We already have, I think, half a dozen applications come through before we even started today. So we're looking forward to seeing more. And, we are limited of how many companies we could accept also. So that's part of the dance, and the applications will close January 9th. Michael will confirm that. It's January 9th. So the application will close on January 9th. It doesn't mean that you have to wait till then, because if we start reading your application today, we'll get you started today. It's an acceptance as fast as they come basis. So meaning once we accept what we accept, yes, the application will close on the 9th, but if we accept all the people, then we might not, yes, it's closing then, but the program will be full by then. So we got rejected. Do you share? We will share all the reasons with you. We have nothing to hide. We want to make sure that you qualify. As long as we know the reasons, because sometimes we're also working with other partners that might say, we can't accept them. Some of the reasons could be that you've already benefited from a different program. Another reason could be that you are not aligned with the goals of the program or not ready for it. We'll make sure that you get some good feedback to help you understand what to do for the next program. And this is why we did a mini application, because I know that time is really all that's all you could control, right? In a way. And I want to make sure that your time is not being wasted. So if you take the 5 minutes or so or less to fill out the application, we will make sure that you will get some feedback on that process. The last time we did this, we had hundreds of applications, and I can't tell you that we could support all of those, but we will support the numbers that we can support through this program. If you know someone that could be interested, also just make sure you encourage them, especially if they're in a different industry or a different business, because we are looking to make sure that we diversify also the reach in Jordan. And we're going to make sure that we are taking companies as many as we can from all over Jordan, not just necessarily from Amman. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to seeing your application and finding ways to support you scale up your businesses. Yallah Global, let's go. The next time, I'll stick around. For those who want to sign off, please feel free to do so, and I'll stick around for any more questions or comments. Thank you so much. Salam. We're staying around for those who have any questions, and in about maybe 3 more minutes, if no one asks anything, I will close this call. Thank you, Ali. Looking forward to seeing your application. Shukran. Thanks, Bara. Shukran, Bara. You too. Shukran. Salam, Bara. I have a few more guests. Dr. Saro is actually a great partner of ours, and looking forward to. So if anyone else who, Muhammad or Naomi or Shahid, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, or I could end the meeting earlier. Okay, since we're not getting any questions or any feedback, we will end it. Thank you so much. Salam.